Hello, friends and clients. I am Jennifer Walker Gates, board certified immigration attorney with JLW Immigration Law Group. I am here today to talk about marriage fraud. What that is basically getting married for a green card and a green card only. I was recently spending some time with my son at his graduation from California Institute of the Arts. And a bunch of his friends there who are international students were talking about getting married so they could stay in the United States. So it occurred to me this is a really important issue for a lot of people who are on a temporary visa in the US and want to figure out a way to extend their stay, want to figure out a way to stay legally, and are considering getting married to a friend or an acquaintance for the sole purpose of getting a green card. So today what we're going to talk about is the consequences of doing that, the reasons why you should not do that. So before I jump into that, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the video if this is helpful. We want to make sure and get the word out to as many deserving immigrants as we can. We want everyone to get the legal status they deserve and to have good, high quality, trustworthy information. So please help us by subscribing to the channel, share the video, leave us comments. I do reply to the comments. So if you have questions, follow-up concerns, you're welcome to leave us a comment. You're also welcome to contact us directly. Our contact information is scrolling along the bottom. If you reach out to us at our website, you can click to schedule an appointment. You can also call our office and our team will be happy to get you scheduled so that we can talk specifically about your individual circumstances and situation. All right, so let's jump into today's topic. Today we are talking about the consequences of marriage fraud. And before we talk about consequences, I want to define for you what USCIS considers marriage fraud. Okay, marriage fraud is something that happens when a person is found by clear, convincing, and unequivocal evidence. That's a very high standard to have gotten married for the sole purpose of getting around US immigration laws. Okay, so the sole purpose is really important. If you are only marrying this person so that you can get a green card, that is marriage fraud, according to the US government. If you really love the person, it's okay, and you want to build a life with them, at least even temporarily, and you also want a green card, that is okay. It is not a problem to get married with one of the reasons being that you want to get a green card, but it can't be the only reason. That is marriage fraud. So if you are considering getting married solely for the purpose of getting your green card, I want you to understand what the potential penalties are, okay? In the immigration law, if you are found by clear, convincing, and unequivocal evidence to have gotten married for the sole purpose of avoiding immigration laws, meaning the sole purpose of getting a green card, then you are subject to a fine of up to $250,000, 5 years imprisonment, or both. Now, it's really important to understand that these fines and penalties and imprisonment can apply to U.S. citizens as well. If a U.S. citizen engages in a fraudulent marriage and is found to have done so, they basically are convicted of a federal felony. It's a federal fraud crime. And not only can you lose your freedom for a temporary, period of imprisonment, you can also lose the money over the fine. You can also lose if you've ever gotten a professional license, for example. I have known of this happening to attorneys and doctors who thought they were doing someone a favor by getting married to them so they could get their green card, and it had really, really catastrophic consequences for them. So it's really important to note that those can also apply to U.S. citizens. Now, in addition to the fine and the imprisonment, any immigrant who is found to have engaged in marriage fraud at any level, even if they didn't get a benefit, even if they didn't finish the case, if they just attempted or conspired to engage in marriage fraud, they cannot ever be approved for any other marriage-based benefit in the immigration laws. Okay? So it doesn't matter why you did the marriage fraud. It doesn't matter how severe it was or kind of how far along it got. If you even attempt it and are found to have done that, you are banned from the family-based immigration system and most of the other stuff as well, because almost every benefit in the immigration law in the United States requires a finding of favorable discretion. Okay. You have to convince USCIS at any given time that you're applying for anything, that you deserve the benefit. And if you have been found to have committed marriage fraud, you are unlikely to be found later that you deserve yes or DACA or asylum or any other kind of waiver or any other kind of protection against deportation. So the consequences for engaging in marriage fraud are very severe. They're more severe for non-citizens, of course, than for citizens, because non-citizens are not only subject to criminal and civil penalties, they are also going to be kind of banned from future immigration benefits, probably banished from the United States. And U.S. citizens are subject to the criminal penalties, but aren't likely to be deported and banished forever from their home country. So it is really, really important to understand the consequences of doing this before getting involved in it. It is really not worth it. If you want to know about alternatives to marriage fraud and alternatives to, your case in your specific circumstances, please reach out to us. We would be happy to meet with you to analyze the specifics of your case and make recommendations for you based on your particular circumstances. There could be other opportunities, even after brief returns to your home country, even, in the future, if you were to actually fall in love and get married to someone who can legitimately petition for you in the United States. Falling out of status in the meantime isn't fatal to a case like that in the future, but marriage fraud is. So it's really not worth it. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us confidentially or in the comments below. Leave me a comment. Again, share the video, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and take good care. Don't commit marriage fraud. We'll talk to you soon.